He brings the puzzle. Vanesim here is missing a yud. So Rashi says like this: Omar Rabnoso, Marwa Nesim Nitnade b'Chanukas HaMizbeach Tchilo, uMeleches HaMishkan Lo Yislam Tchilo. The question is why, by you see a difference. By Chanukas HaMizbeach, they did the first one. They won the first one. They gave the donation. Masha'ekim Melechas HaMishkan Lo Yislam Tchilo. They didn't do the first. Elo. כך אומרו הנשיאים, התנבדו ציבור מה שמתנבדים, ומה שמחזרים אנו משלים. They said like this: listen, we will see Am Yisrael what they give, what they're missing, we will finish. וכיוון שהשלים הציבור את הכל, Am Yisrael, they finished everything. שניהם המלוך כמו ישראל דיין. אומרו מה נשיאים, מה לעשות, but what you could do. If you have Nishoyam, the view, they brought the stones for the Kohen. לכן התנבדו בחנוכת הבאז מהתחילו. Of course, they had the lazy from the beginning, so Hashem took away from them a letter from the night. This is the Rashi. Because it's missing here, you're missing the ois yud. And by no, you're missing a word. Word you're missing is for generation.
I know, but what's the yud and not the yud?
No, you see Vanesim, see the first word Vanesim?
Yeah, I know what the yud is missing.
So that yud is missing, it's like a...
One take out the shin.
No, so yud, you can read the word. It's a sim, you can read the word.
You can read it without the yud?
Yeah, you can read without it. What is missing shleimus and the...
You can add a different letter.
No, not able to see. Go. And you take it's okay. If you want to use it. Okay. Start from the beginning. The Torah here wants to teach you a lesson. It looks like the Nesim were tzaddikim, the big brother did tzaddikim, but they gave Avnei Shoyam. They brought the stones for the Kohen Gadol. But the Rashi is a question: why by Chanukas HaMizbeach the Nesim? They brought the first ones. And by Chanukah, by Meleches HaMishkan, they didn't bring. What is the difference? Again, when they made the Mishkan, or made the temple, the Nesim said, listen, Am Yisrael will give first the money. What's left over, we will bring. What happened was, everybody gave so quick, they didn't even nothing to give, they nothing to bring. So they only brought the Avnei Shoyam. Now, by Chanukah HaMizbeach, they came the first one to learn lesson from before. But what they missed the word yud. The yud, they missed a lot of them missing. It's like a mum. It's like a chisom in the sea. They teach us a lesson. This is Rashi. But now we see how Saba Mikelem will teach us a lesson in common. Come here on the paper, come give me. Come. And you have a paper? You. Yosef, you have one? Okay. Look inside. Look, this is a bigger soil here. Eight lines from the top. Oh, 7 lines from the, how you feeling? Sit down. 7 lines from the top. The first word is Atkanish Ubil Divi Chazal. Eile. Al pi ma she'omu Chazal bebrocha samach aleph amud beis. To expand this Rashi, so comes a Sicha Zissel, brings us a flashlight. It brings a sun. It brings a light to explain with this Chazal of Gemara Brochas, Daf Samach Aleph Amud Beis. From this Gemara, come. For this Gemara, you could come sit down. For this Gemara, we able to understand the Rashi and the Chumash. Now let's see the Gemara. Elisha, come, take. Says the Gemara, Broches Samach Aleph Amud Beis. Tzadikim Yitzer Toiv Shovto. Reshoim Yitzer Ra Shovto. Benoinim Zeveze Shovto. Again, this is the Gemara says. What is the difference of Tzadik and a Rasha and a Benoinim? You have three levels of all Klaisor. Tzadik, Rasha, Benoinim. Tzadik, the right side. Rasha is the left side, and Benoini is the middle. So now, what is the difference? Says the difference. Tzadikim, who is the judge? The Yetzer Tov. The evil that the inside of you have a Yetzer, you have an angel. It's called a Yetzer. That he is called a desire. You put it to a desire that is a good desire. That is that king in your heart, and he judges you. He tells you what to do. By a Rasha, you have this angel in you. It's called the Yetzer Hara, the evil in you, and that is the judge. He's the leader of the. Now Benoinim sometimes like this, sometimes like that. Now what it means Shofta. So Rashi brings the Goen Manigom. He's going to come to the Grom. If you look Rashi in the Gemara there, it's not exactly that way. He's going, this Mahalach of Sicha Zissel is going to come to the Grom. They come to the Grom. So again, let's explain it again. What is the difference of Tzaddik, Rasha, and Benoini? Tzaddik, who controls them? Who controls the Tzaddik? Who is the tzaddik go after? The Yetzer Tov. The evil, it's called the desire of good, that controls the tzaddik. What is the Rasha who controls the Rasha? What? Yetzer Hara. And Benoini, middle people, sometimes like that, sometimes like that. They jump, some like this, some like that, some like that, some like this, some like that. This and this. This is the Gemara. Again, tzaddikim, who judges them? Who runs them? Who basically runs them, gives them decisions what to do? Who makes a decision what to do? The Yetzer Tov. It's called the desire of good. That basically tells them what to do. Inside of them, they have the desire of good. This is the tzaddikim. The Reshoim, Yetzer Hara tells them what to do. Benoini, something like this, something like that. That is very important. You see, it means to say, everyone has a judge. Everyone is running. Everyone, Ben a Tzaddik, Ben a Rasha, Ben Benoini, someone is controlling them. Everybody's with control. Who controls you? Who controls you? The Yetzer Tov, the Yetzer Hara, or something like this, something like that. This is the Chazal. It means to say, you're not saying, listen to me, this is me, I control myself. It's true. You have to not control you have to know in you have a Yetzer Tov, Yetzer Hara. So basically you have to know, you have to know how to take the Yetzer Tov to get you to control you. Because who are you going after? The Yetzer Tov. Who are you going after to? The person goes to Yetzer Hara. So basically, is you have to know in you have this king in your body. I call this a king. To get Tziyon. You have a king in your body who tells you what to do. So you have a king that is a good king. You have a king that is a bad king. And you have son. So if you listen to the good king, you'll be a tzaddik. If you listen to the bad king, what happens was you become a Rasha. So you sometimes listen. So like that, this tzaddikim, what happens to them? Who is the judge? Who is the king? Who controls them? I say this. A tzaddik has a government. A body has a government. Who is the government? I mean, who runs it? Who is your government? Who is your government? So, a tzaddik, he has a good government. A Rasha has a bad government. And a Benoni, sometimes like that, sometimes like that. It means to say, a person is ruled. People rule a person. Every person, ben a tzaddik, ben a Rasha, he's ruled. He's controlled by someone. He's controlled by some spiritual force. So you control with a force of good, or you control with a force of bad. Or something like this, something like that. See, this is the Gemara. Gemara Bochus again. 8 lines from the top and inside. What do you mean inside? Everybody look inside. Inside, David. You haven't seen Yosef. יש לך בפנים? No, not that paper. Inside, we're reading. Inside. Erin Chazal, bebroches daf samech aleph amud beis. Tzadikim yetzel toiv shofto. Tzadikim, the good, the good in you is called the spiritual good that's in you. That's the king, the spiritual good. He is the one who controls you. The Rashoim, who controls your Rasha, is the bad spiritual bed in you. And Benonim, sometimes like this, sometimes like that. This is the Gemara, and Rashi learns that out. Rashi and Gemara Brochas Daf Samech Aleph learns a little bit different, but he's going to go to the Grom. Go to the Grom in Vilna. Biu explains Biu, Roy. Ki Adam Ayir Pero Yivolek. A person is born a mule that is a wild mule. That is one thing. It means your physical body. Your physical body is a mule that is wild. What is a mule that is wild? You have a donkey and you have a horse. They get together. It means there's no control. It means the body is not a controllable. Ki paruahu, we learned in the Pasha. No control. So every person physical is born Ayir Pere Yivon. Is born what? Is born a wild animal. This is one thing. This is mitzad physical, his body. Now mitzad thoughts, that's the physical thoughts. V'yetzer machshavos liboy rak ra kol ayom. His desires and his thoughts is only bad all day. Again, the physical body is a wild mule, and his thoughts is only bad. Not only that, shotu behergel retzonoisov lemalois rak kuma veliboy beteva be'ezas hayetzer hara aruchoni. So what he does all day, he is involved. It means he's so much involved to do it in his habits, to do his will, to do only what his heart wants by natural. And who helps him to do that? Is a Yetzer Hara. That spiritual Yetzer Hara gets a person to do it. Come in, come in. Sit down. Now, this is how Absicha sister explains what is the explanation of Yetzer Hara Shoftim, the Yetzer Hara control. And go again. Chaim. I'm reading it again. Biuroi. The first line in the line is Biuroi. Kiod, you have it, Biuroi. I read it again. Ki Adam Ayir Pero Yivoled. A person is born a mule that is wild mule. V'yetzer machshavos libo raka kol hayom. And the desires and his thoughts all day is bad. This is people. Yes, this is. It's not the Gra. No, it's not the Gra.
The Gra said one word.
Only Manigu. Yes, but he explains it. But he
explained the Gra.
This explains the Gemara.
This explains the Gemara. The Gra.
The Gemara. V'shodu behergel retzonoisov, and he's like surrounded. He's like around all his habits of his will to fulfill all. Lemalo is kol ma'ave liboy on kol. It's very to do with kol ma'ave liboy b'teva. Everything what the heart wants, by nature. Everything. Be'esas ha'yetzer hara, with the help of the yetzer hara, a spiritual yetzer hara. This is a person. It means you take every person in all the universe, that from the day of the creation of the world till today, and the day till the Mashiach will come, every person is born that way. Every person is born, Avram Avinu, Moshe Rabbeinu, every person in the world was born, Yetzer Ayir Perivoled, he has a Yetzer Hara, every person is born that way. Every person is born that way. So now he explains another Gemara. Kemoi. Now he makes a dimion. He makes a comparison. There's Gemara in Broches to in Bereshis. Says in the Torah, Ve'elecho teshukoso. That a person will be his desire to be. If a person, let's say an Adam, and your desire will be only him. I mean, the Yetzer Hara desire only on you. And he explains like this. A person was spent, mevale means he takes something and you spend your time in it. Like you take time, and this is what a person goes to town, what he says, ani mevale. Spending his time. It means time happening. What is time? A person spends his time, his essence, with the habits of the nature. The Rashaz hayetzer, and the trips of the Yetzer. Shonim Rabbos. So a lot of years, because a person is born that way. A person is born that way with what? That is a mule with thoughts only bad. And for years, a person spends with bad habits, and beterem yifokach me'at ma shesichloi b'koach. Before a person, his mind opens up to understand really what he has to do, and his mind, for years and years, he spends time and with the habits of to be like a mule, and he thinks only bad. For years he spends time like that. Like I said, the pasuk, lefetachat ha'rovetz. Now, because all the beginning, a person is born that way. Because he's born that way, only has the thoughts, and he wants only the taiva, and he wants desires. Lachein only thinks bad, because he's born physical that way. So he wants only bad. V'chein. Maisa v'inyonav afilu maisim tovim. Nireh la'ayin hakol. Everybody looks and he sees the same person. He does mitzvahs and he does actions, but you have to know. Noivi mi boye ha'rotz. That comes from the well of the rotzoin ha'tavoni ha'mushcheset. It comes from the desire that it basically wants to destroy you. A person is all his essence is basically is under the judge. I told you today. And a person as a judge is called the Yetzirah.
When he does Maisim Tov?
Even he does Maisim Tov. But listen to that. And this is like his way. A person, according to him, he goes, he listens to the Tzarara, he's born that way, and he goes that way from beginning to death. No! So what will you do? Now he tells you what to do. I underline it. Imloi, underline tells you what to do. This is the only the way to get out of your problem. Listen the secret of life. Listen the secret of life. It tells you what to do. Listen the secret of life. Listen. A person has to get himself to train himself. A lot of training without getting tired, without getting weakness. Working after working. You work after work. One time after one time. A person has to, what he has to do? He has to train himself what to do to control sichlo atav. Is to take the seichel and the type. It means, till now, who is your boss? Who is your money? Who controls you? Your body is the Yetzer. But what you have to do, you have to take your seichel and control your body. It means the Yetzer Tov controls your body. There, wait 1 second. Al pi, according to which way? A chochma Mussar. Al pi Torah dafka. Not according to psychologists. And not according to all the ways in the world. Only according to Torah. Chochma Mussar al pi Torah dafka. Only according to, it means, you want to go work on yourself, control yourself, according to dafka according to Torah. Of course, we learned a couple of days ago, the Mussar, we said, the only one that was for the creation of the world knew how to control his body. Remember what I said is? Avraham Avinu. And only when we got the control says only by the Torah. Barati Yetzirah, no one can control Yetzirah only according to Torah. There's no way. There's no way. It means all the psychologists and all the chacham of all the world cannot get a person to control himself. It's impossible. And I heard from my father, he says, because all the psychologists go from one thing to another thing, from one box to another box to another box, they don't control it. But we have a controlling. We can mashlit the seichel and the timer. We have it. Ve'az yosim nafshe bekapoy. Very important to learn that this is very asur gadol. When your moment that you put yourself, control yourself, the taiva and your rotzum, the rotzech and your taiva, according to Chochma Mussar. Now he tells you the secret. As yosim nafshe bekapo le'akir yitzah, then you start to know who is the Yetzirah. Ma'alech etzonoisav, you know the way of your desires. Ader sibo mesubov. This is a very important yisodia. It means a person can know, if he does, first has to know control. When he controls, then he has to know how the Yetzirah moves. Sibo and mesubov. Yetzirah is the angel that you can control it. It's a big chiddush. You see, No one knew when we brought the Midrash. The Marshal, the Midrash said, they had this gangster, and standing, and Chaim, listen, was this gangster, the Midrash business Midrash. There was this gangster standing and Pashas Drochim. Everyone, a big gangster, big shlub, gladzer, and everyone comes there, he beats him and hits him up. No one had to handle it. Everyone passing in the middle of the road, everybody comes to hit him. Came a smart person, and he told me, so there's only, that gangster is only from paper. He's big, but he has no energy. He learned this weakness and he knocked him out. Says the same thing, that was the only one to understand was the Yitzhak is Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu is the Megale, that secret to the Jewish people. The only way how to control yourself, Avram Avinu gave it over to the children and the grandchildren. Till today, we have the secret how to control ourselves. We have that secret of life, but no one has it. And no one will have it also. No one will have it, no one can have it also. Even all the people in India, they fast and they eat, they don't eat. But they're not controlling themselves. They're going against the body. We have the body and we could control ourselves. With the body, have children, get married, everything, and teach you how to work on it. So he tells you what to do. She says, the moment you know you take it, control your seiche and your rotzoin, then what happens was, according to Chochmah Mussar, so then you're able to know the mahalach of the Yetzirah. And the Yetzirah, you know it clearly. It's not an angel, you can't handle it. It has, every Yetzirah has a siba and a mesubah. It means it has a way. It's not no control, you could control it. Al-akir yitzroi b'mahalach yitzroi b'derech siba mesubah. It's a way, by a siba mesubah, this is a way you can control the Yetzirah. Ve'az kol naisor, all your actions, v'inyan of noivi miboya seichel. Because the moment you handle that, you'll be opposite, not you'll be in control of your body and you'll be the Yetzer Ora is your judge. You'll be Adarabah, the Yetzer Toiv will be your judge. He'll be a leader. Even looks like you're doing bad. And that basically gives you to be alive for your chochas hanefesh. So this is the Mussar today we learned. You have two ways to decide to do with your life. You want to live according to your body. So what happens is, you're like a wild mule. You want to live according to Hashem wants you to do. You have to get your seichel to control your body and know how your Yetzirah works, and then you're able to handle it. And it teaches you every Yetzirah has a way, has a siba, mesuba. Yetzirah is not out of the control. There's a way to control it, and you could control it. And then what happens? You change yourself to be not the Yetzirah, to be the king. Who comes a king? Who comes a judge? The seichel, the Yetzer Tov comes in control. What do you want to do this?
So you're saying everybody is born as like a mule?
Yes.
You're saying everybody's born as a mule?
Yes.
And you have a Yetzer Hara, Yetzer Tov. So if we tune in more to our Yetzer Tov, we still are a mule, but we're under control.
Now we're missing one word. It says the post like this: Ayir pere odom yivoled. Odom yivoled. The post didn't brings it here. It says a moment you change yourself, you come to be a new man.
Oh.
You see, you born him, you become to be a man.
Okay.
You change yourself, Adam yivoled. The Pasuk says, Ayir pere Adam yivoled.
So you transform yourself.
You change yourself to be a new person. You come really where you have to have to be. Now, who is your king and your body? The Yetzer Tov. And how you control the Yetzer Tov? What is the rules of Yetzer Tov? Chochmah and Mussar. And it has to be according to Torah. Not according to other Shiur Davolim. Only according to Torah has to be. And then when you know that, when you control yourself, then you listen, you know how Yetzirah works, and you control it and know how to work with it.
So then a person is no longer a mule. A person is then a human being.
And then he becomes a real human being. He becomes a human being. Adam.
It's still a mule, but you're controlling it. It's not.
No. Adam Ivonet. He says that he comes. Says a piece. He has another piece. He comes another piece. I didn't begin here. He comes a new person. You come an Adam Chodesh. You come a new
Yeah,
person.
but that's only a concept. He's still the mule. That's conceptually he's a new person, but he's still the mule. He's controlling it all the time.
No, you tell him I like him. Yeah, it's true. You have one. Okay. You could say that way. You could say the other way. But the reality is, he says of Sichel. He says Adam Ivonet. The pasuk says Adam Ivonet. You come a new person. It's like a ger.
Okay.
It comes before there's a goy. Now it comes Jewish. He's a tinok shenoila.
A what?
Like a converted. In the beginning was a goy. Now it comes Jewish. It's a new person. It looks the same body. It's not the same body. It's a different person.
Yeah, but and how does a different
Explain
person
it.
work differently?
Okay, it's another point. It's another point.